Amazon, you should use Wikibuy. It's a browser extension that automatically compares Amazon's prices to other sellers to see if there's a...
On the Capitol grounds, they chanted "Northam out," referencing Virginia's Democratic governor. Ahead of today's demonstration, the governor declared a state of emergency and banned all weapons on Capitol grounds. But outside that secured area, many demonstrators were heavily armed. Look at them. They look like soldiers there, some wearing body armor. And there are fears there could be violence, particularly from white extremists. Last I arrested 3 alleged white supremacists who plan to attend today's rally. Those are them there. CNN Sarah Seidner joins us now. So Sarah, so far, no sign of violence. What are you hearing on the ground? You're speaking to people there. How do you see the day playing out?
Look, before this rally began, there was certainly worry from law enforcement who, after those arrests of members of a group called the Base, who are neo-Nazis who want to basically create complete havoc and sort of disarm governments. What you are seeing here is a scene of thousands, not hundreds, perhaps tens of thousands of people. So far, it has been very quiet. They are all here for one single reason, and that is they do not like having their rights when it comes to guns in any way stopped. And they've been looking at what's happening in this legislature. I want to give you kind of a scene here. Now, you'll remember that the Democrats took over here in Virginia, and they now have control, and they have passed 3 bills that restrict gun access. One of them is you can only buy 1 gun a month. You have to get your guns, you have to basically get background checks, even if you're doing a person-to-person, so a private gun sale. And they've given local governments the option to quell guns, and when they have something like a permitted rally or some sort of permitted event, they can restrict guns. So those are the 3 laws that have passed. There's a lot of folks here that don't like what they're hearing, and they are very concerned that their Second Amendment rights are going to be infringed upon. You will see folks here who are armed to the teeth, and you will see folks here who are just walking around. They're not armed. They are here to support, the folks that are here. But you've got everyone from ex-Army members, Marines, to people who are currently serving, to law enforcement who are here, who are saying that they are very upset with what's happened with the governor and with this legislature. However, the people voted this group of folks in who are now in control. The citizens of Virginia voted this group of folks in, and they ran on some of these, sort of gun control measures. I did get a chance to speak with a gentleman named Manny Vega. He is from Richmond. He told us what he thought about what Governor Northam and this legislature has done, and he told us why he was here as well.
Government here in Richmond has usurped the Constitution of the United States. All we want to do is to be able to defend ourselves, not only from, violent criminals, but from a government that will usurp the Constitution as well.
So, you hear...
The man say, he said he wanted to defend himself against violent criminals, right? But they got one picture of a dude. This motherfucker is out there carrying a 50 cal sniper rifle. I mean, if a criminal is attempting to rob you at the corner liquor store, that's the first thing you grab, right? You're going to run to your car and pull out your 50 cal sniper rifle. Or if some burglars are attempting to break their way into your residence, that's what you pull out, right? You pull out a 50 caliber sniper rifle with a scope that can see a mile away, and that's what you use to defend yourself against violent criminals. That shit don't even make no sense. Shit don't make no sense, bro, at all. At all. And these motherfuckers mad because Virginia is limiting people to purchasing 1 firearm per month. What? I can't buy 6 guns this month? What? There's a gun show coming up. I have to buy 9 guns. I can only buy 1 gun per month? These motherfuckers is crazy. My girlfriend broke up with me and said we can always be cousins. It don't matter. Family comes before anything. I still love her. Just because we're not together, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna help raise my child that I fathered with my first cousin Sarah. Somebody's breaking in the house, honey. I think I heard something. I don't see anybody. Let me go downstairs. It's impractical. It's totally impractical. And these guys are walking around like a paramilitary force. I'm all for guns, bro. I'm all for guns. You know what I'm saying? Yo, 2 handguns, a small assault rifle, and a shotgun. That's probably all you need, man. You know what I'm saying? Not even a assault rifle technically. You can have like a bolt action rifle. You know what I'm saying? You can hunt a deer with it. You can kill animals and game. You know what I'm saying? Your handguns is for your personal protection, just in case you feel like you need to carry that shit with you somewhere. And the shotgun is for the house. I understand. Yeah. Nobody should be limited to having one type of firearm. You want a handgun, you want a rifle, you want a shotgun, I'm all for that shit. But you don't need 15 handguns, 17 assault rifles with high capacity magazines and impact exploding ammunition and all kind of shit like that, man. That shit, where you need goddamn thermal night vision goggles and goddamn Teflon helmets for? I need that shit for the deer. You know how big a buck is? You know how dense deer bones are? Deer bones are hard. You gotta have that puncturing power, that stopping power that you can only get from a 50 cal. Cause I hunt my deer from, 800, 900 meters out. That's about how far I am from my deer when I hunt them. I like to keep my distance. A small nuke. A small nuke. Egg shape. Nothing big and fancy. You know what I'm saying? That's old days. Guns are compact now. They're manageable. A snook. I need me a snoop, a small nuke. Just a small one. But look how these guys are dressed, and he says that he needs this gear to protect himself from violent criminals. I think is his words. Let's listen to this guy again, yo. Let's blow this up. I know the glare on the screen is just the fucking worst. But she spoke with a guy.
Told us why he was here as well.
Government here in Richmond has usurped the Constitution of the United States. All we want to do is to be able to defend ourselves, not only from, violent criminals, but from a government that would usurp the Constitution as well.
It's not accept, it's usurp. Like you don't even know the words, man. Fuck are you trying to say? Usurp? But this is how these dudes are fucking dressed. This is what you need to protect your home, from violent criminals. You need to dress like this and make sure you got your Kevlar helmets. You know what I'm saying? Your dusters, your fucking backpacks. Make sure you got your camel pack on. I mean, look, man. Like I say, I ain't no prepper. I have protection. I stay stocked up on water. I got a little bug out bag. I like to make sure my vehicles are always full of gas. You never know. You don't. You really don't ever fucking know, bro. So, yeah, hey, man, man, expect the best but prepare for the worst. These motherfuckers preparing for, I don't know what, bro. I don't know what
Yeah, many demonstrators were heavily armed. Look at them. They look like soldiers there, some wearing body armor. And there are fears there could be violence, particularly from white extremists. Last week, the FBI arrested 3 alleged white supremacists who plan to attend today's rally. Those are them there. CNN Sarah Seiner joins us now. So, Sarah, so far, no sign of violence. What are you hearing on the ground? You're speaking to people there. How do you see the day playing out?
Look, before this rally began, there was certainly worry from law enforcement who, after those arrests of members of a group called the Base, who are neo-Nazis who want to basically havoc and sort of disarm governments. What you are seeing here is a scene of thousands, not hundreds, perhaps tens of thousands of people. So far, it has been very quiet. They are all here for one single reason, and that is they do not like having their rights when it comes to guns in any way stopped. And they've been looking at what's happening in this legislature. I want to give you kind of a scene here. Now, you'll remember that the Democrats took over here in Virginia, and they now have control, and they have passed 3 bills that restrict gun access. One of them is you can only buy 1 gun a month. You have to get your guns, you have to basically get background checks, even if you're doing a person-to-person, so a private gun sale. And they've given local governments the option to quell guns, and when they have something like a permitted rally or some sort of permitted event, they can restrict guns. So those are the 3 laws that have passed. There's a lot of folks here that don't like what they're hearing, and they are very concerned that their Second Amendment rights.
Okay, you can only buy 1 gun per month. Even if the gun sale is at a gun show or a convention or a private person-to-person sale, we still have to do a background check. And if we throw certain type of government rallies, yes, Virginia is a commonwealth and is an open carry state, but at some rallies we're going to ask you, please do not bring firearms to these events. These motherfuckers like, fuck all that shit. The hell no. I can't bring my gun to the rally. I gotta buy 1 gun a month. I can't buy a gun from Bob without telling the government I just brought a gun. I did not vote you into power to usurp my constitutional rights. I must be able to own as much death power as I possibly can, because I never know when violent criminals are going to attack me. I already own 37 firearms, approximately 2,500 rounds of ammunition, 25,000 rounds of ammunition. I don't think that's enough, because next month I was planning on buying 3 more guns. Now you're telling me it's going to take me 3 months to buy 3 guns. And I can't bring them to the next rally. This is bullshit. This is not America. Virginia, we should succeed from the Union. Start our own thing. It's getting bad. It's getting bad here, people. That's not reasonable at all. See, what you're not doing. You're not looking at it from a tactical, defensive point of view. We have the right to defend ourselves against enemies, foreign and domestic. You never know, man. See, this is what happened in China, Australia, everywhere. Once they start doing these little gun bans, then they take everything from you. And then you seen what happened when Hitler, first thing he did, take the guns. Now you can't defend yourself. Now they're trying to, well, they're not trying to take my guns or my right to own guns. They're not trying to limit the amount of guns I can own. They just, it's too much. It's not reasonable. You're not looking at this with a clear mind. We need our weapons to overthrow tyrannical governments. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now they saying 1 gun a month. You know what that means. In 3 or 4 years, they're going to say you can only buy 1 gun a year. And then 3 or 4 years after that, they're going to say you have to apply to buy a gun, and the application process might take up to 2 years. They start small. You give them an inch, they take a foot, and then it's a yard, and then they're so fucking far ahead, you'll never see it. You'll never see it coming. You'll never see it coming. This is what they were voting on. This is... Now, did shit pass? That's the whole thing. They said the Virginia government, the Democrats are running that shit right now. Once again, the state elected their fucking governor, Democratic governor. You know what I'm saying? And all your state officials are mostly Democrats. You guys voted these motherfuckers in. They've had fucking Virginia Tech. They've had a couple shootings at military bases. They've had, just a couple years ago, the fucking, where was that shit in Virginia? Not Chantilly, but wherever that other rally took place when the motherfucker ran through the crowd in his car and killed the girl. Like, all these neo-Nazi white supremacy groups and all, they just like they not trying to take your guns. We just trying to make sure we know for a fact who is buying guns. We just got to track y'all niggas better, because y'all been fucking some shit up, bro. Y'all motherfuckers are crazy. We just need to know who buying the guns. Who buying the guns, and don't bring the guns. I know it's the open carry, but if you are in the parameters of certain rallies, just please don't bring your guns, or don't come to the event. Stay home. Watch that shit on TV. But don't bring your guns. This is the statewide barbecue cook-off. We don't need pistols out this bitch, bro. We making some motherfucking barbecue. Charlottesville. Charlottesville is where the fucking dude ran that girl over, yo, killed her. Injured like 4 other people. The Trump said there were good people on both sides. That's it's a little bit too much. See, like shit like that, like he just says weird, dumbass shit. And as a president, like I look at all these motherfuckers the same, man. They just a regular fucking person. They ain't got no real control. They following an agenda. But Trump just don't like to stay on script. Most motherfuckers see JFK was the end all to going off the script. Look, man, you want to be the president? Fine. We've been had some shit set up before your granddaddy. We're working on moving this culture towards a certain agenda, and that's you're not gonna do anything about it. So what we need you to do is smile for the cameras, read the teleprompter, sign the fucking paper. That's it. If you don't, replay the Zapruder film a couple of times, back and to the left, back and to the left. Watch that shit a couple of times, and then remind yourself, stay on the script. Nice. And you know what? Let's go for a ride. we got we got this brand new convertible. It's nice. It's a nice day. Look at it. Motherfucker could fly a kite on a day like this. No, no, we're coming back. You're just gonna drive. We're going around the plaza. It's a nice day. Nice new convertible. It's a Tesla. Let's come check this thing out, man. Shit. It damn near drives itself. Back and to the left. Don't go off script. That's why motherfuckers like Trump, because he just say dumb shit. He's staying on script. He just ad lib sometimes. That's all this motherfucker do. He just ad lib with his own. Yo, there's one video, they took this shit off the internet. You cannot find it. But it was a compilation of clips of Trump saying the very opposite of what he said during his campaign tours. So during the campaign tours, he was calling her Crooked Hillary. Lock her up, lock her up, lock her up. And then they have this one clip. He was at a rally after he was inaugurated as the sitting president, and he's at a rally and he's revving them up, and somebody in the background says it one time, lock her up, and then it erupts, lock her up, and Trump says, no. That worked good before I got elected. We won. Now we don't care about that anymore. And people in the crowd are like, what? Huh? And then they have another clip of him during their election campaign. I'm going to drain the swamp. I'm going to drain the swamp of D.C. of all the corruptions. I'm going to drain the swamp. And then they have him after the election, and he says it again, because I'm going to drain the swamp. And the crowd like, yeah, drain the swamp. And then he confesses like, the first time I heard that, I fucking hated that shit. They gave me the line and said, say this. And I was like, oh, it sounds kind of corny. It sounds a little bit hokey. But I said it one time, and I said drain the swamp, and the crowd erupted. And I said it again. And then I said it like I meant it. And yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. We gotta drain the swamp. And it was like, everybody's in the crowd like, what? And there was another shit, like he said the fucking exact opposite. It was the weirdest shit, yo. But I cannot find that clip anymore, yo. Wow. But I'm telling you, man, as soon as motherfuckers get where they want to be, their whole fucking story changed. I don't know who that is. Titanette. They go back to King fucking Henry. They go back to like fucking King Henry the VII or some shit, yo. You's a smart motherfucker, yo. Smart motherfucker, yo. For your freedom, cause you know you need to. The system won't change unless my gladiators will reign. For your freedom, cause you know you need to. The system won't change unless my gladiators. I got shot, nobody got caught, nobody got killed, nobody did shit. So we buy more guns and sell more games, cop new cars and rock the chains. Who made the rules to the game that we play? Maybe the ones who did the slave trade. 15 are locked up, real statistics. 15 are pregnant, shit's realistic. Child was fun, too bad that you missed it. Corner, trap, stuck in the system. Corners, blocks, project buildings. This is the way that we raise our children. Who might stealing about drug dealing? They blind to the facts, so they need our healing. When I fair office, back to the ceiling. The kids have your kids, and your kids keep killing. For your freedom, cause you know you need to. The system won't change unless my gladiators reign. For your freedom, cause you know you need to. The system won't change unless my gladiators also out here when we push my pencil. While we support, gotta push the issue. So I sell drugs and pop the pistols. They made it hard, the life that I've been through. Niggas king, police and politicians, and you know black is right there written on the back of a dollar. New world order, teach the truth to our sons and our daughters. Fundamental classes, trapped in our borders, we hold us back. It's time to get it over. Knowledge is power, weight on your shoulders. First like water, then like steel. Shadow skills, it strike like a cobra. Eventually do it, but we need more soldiers. Eventually know it, but you gotta decode it. These are the last days and it's been quoted. Bang. For your freedom, cause you know you need to. The system won't change unless my gladiators for your freedom, cause you know you need to. The system won't change unless my gladiators. Oh, Sam got the whole handcuff, trap or die. Let me see you throw your hands up, bang on the system. Till my hands cut, ready for the mission. Soldiers stand up, gladiator music, start in the movement. Try to educate, motivate the movement. Overthrow the government so we can move in. Bush is a lizard, just look at his skin. And 33 presidents next to his skin. If we don't bang now, then it's never gonna end. Been going through this shit for too many years. Gentlemen, overthrow the government so we can move in. Just look at his skin and 33 presidents next to his skin. We don't think now, it's never gonna end. Shit, soldiers stand up. Cause Bush is a lizard, just look at his skin. And 33 presidents next of his kin. If we don't bang now, then it's never gonna end. At least 33 presidents have kinship. And their kinship goes back to that lineage of fucking the King Henry from the Partridge family, that lineage, yo. I've been on this shit. This song right here, 10 years old, bro. I spit way faster on this shit. A lot of people can't catch half the words, man. I gotta listen to this song like 10 times to catch everything, but that fucking, I get that lizard shit from David Icke, talking about the lizard people and shit. I used to believe that shit on to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? The blue blood, all that, and you already know about that shit, but anyway. But I threw all that shit in there. And Bush is a lizard, just look at his skin, and 33 presidents next of his kin. For your freedom, you know you need to. The system won't. My gladiators, Sam got the whole world handcuffed, trap or die. Let me see you throw your hands up, bang on the system, till my hands cut the movement. Overthrow the government so we can move in. Bush is a lizard, just look at his skin. 33 presidents next to his skin. If we don't think now, it's never gonna end. Been going through this shit for too many years. Tell them make a nigga to cry out tears. We sold the drugs that they brought over here. Show you pride, nigga, hide your fears. We gotta ride like 18 wheels. It's almost over, the time is here. For your freedom, cause you know you need to. The system won't change unless my gladiators for your freedom, cause you know you need to. The system won't change unless my gladiators Been at war for 5 years, people. Shit is never gonna change unless you stand up and make it difficult. Bang! Hermeticism and alchemy. Yeah, but they still label like some of the elite families, like the royals, are the blue bloods, and that's where you get a lot of literally trying to keep the bloodline pure with incest. You know what I'm saying? Cousin marrying and all that shit like that, yo. But yeah, your fucking the lizard brain, that's just like your natural fucking instincts, yo. Your goddamn fight or flight, where your body is, that shit just controls your fucking reflexes. Your animal, the most basic animal part of our fucking brain, yeah. Everybody say they fucking searching for the Philosopher's Stone. Who say they found that shit? The secret of the Philosopher's Stone is the secret of alchemy and how to transmutate matter. But then alchemy, like the Masonics say, it's all about yourself, yo. Like, you are the fucking matter, and through expanding your consciousness, you fucking transmutate yourself. You know what I'm saying? The whole Philosopher's Stone shit is crazy. These motherfuckers think it's like something physical you can hold when it ain't. And the whole deal about alchemy, like, some motherfuckers think like alchemy is just like metaphysics instead of like more physical properties. Oh, I changed a lump of coal into gold. Like, did you really? Did you really? Tupac got shot. Nobody got caught. Biggie got killed. Nobody did shit. So we buy more guns and sell more yay, cop new cars and rock big chains. And who made the rules to the games that we play? Maybe the ones who did the slave trade. 15 and locked up, real statistics. 15 and pregnant, shit's realistic. Childhood was fun, too bad that you missed it. Cornered, trapped, stuck in the system, corners, blocks, project buildings. And this is the way that we raise our children. Teach them how to steal and about drug dealing. They blind to the facts, so they need our healing. The welfare office packed to the ceiling. And the kids having kids, and the kids keep killing. Bang. For your freedom, bang. 'Cause I know you need to, bang. The system won't change unless my gladiators, bang. For your freedom, 'cause I know you need to. The system won't change unless my gladiators. The thoughts in my head make me push my pencil. Why we so poor, gotta push the issue. So I sell drugs and pop them pistols. They made it hard. This life that I've been through. The biggest gang, police and politicians. If you know Latin, it's right there written on the back of $1. New World Order. You gotta teach the truth to your sons and your daughters. From the Middle Passage, trapped in they borders. Been holding us back. It's time to get over. Weight on your shoulders. Damn. Then I forgot the next part. Tracy Chapman talking about revolution. First like water, then like steel. Shadow skills. And strike like a cobra. Shadow skills. Eventually do it, but we need more soldiers. Da Vinci knew it. but you gotta decode it. The Da Vinci Code. These are the last days and it's been quoted. Bang. For your freedom. Bang. Why can't I find that fucking video? Uncle Sam got the whole hood handcuffed. Trap or die. Let me see you throw your hands up. Bang on the system till my hands cut. Ready for the mission? Soldiers stand up. Gladiator music, star in the movement. Gotta educate, motivate, and move men. Overthrow the government so we can move in. Bush is a Liz, just look at his skin. And 33 presidents next of his kin. If he don't bang now, then it's never gonna end. I used to write some hot shit, son. Yeah, that's the one thing I never really got into, that like that numerology shit. Like I listened to a couple of people talk about like vortex math. I like string theory and shit like that, but
overpay for Adidas. Wikibuy can save you money.
no. Stop. For you.
Home and Garden Show is here this weekend. Find builders, remodelers, and everything for your outdoor living.
But yeah, I got a cousin. Yo, every word, every date, he add these numbers up. Like, yo, this. I'm like, oh my god, dude. Like, how do you do that?
Those calls. The only question is, or the response is, say when.
Yeah, exactly.
Say when.
He said the Baltimore Ravens sent him here today.
Yeah, I appear in courtesy of the Ravens.
Okay.
West Baltimore.
Yeah.
Oh,
you dig? We just gonna jump right in it like this?
Get right to it, Los.
We just gonna do it like that?
People what they
I don't
wanna
even get
see.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even get it. Okay, that's crazy. Look. Let me talk to him this, sourdough.
Do it.
Look, they say it never come to fruition unless the vision is crafted. My drive is relentlessly, repetitiously mastered. Progress is positive, pessimism is backward. Since failure ain't attractive, my next decision was drastic. I made it out of pitfalls strictly due to my passion. Supreme intellect, not to mention wisdom to match it. Name another nigga that put up 50 at practice. This shit is magic, even my exhibition is classic. Funny, I ain't end up broke like you predicted. It's 1,000 niggas like you, no need to be too specific. I outmaneuver goofies like you with a few decisions. When the proof is missing, you get reduced to a euphemism. Shit, the truth is wicked. I just threw a surprise party at a see-through mansion, my nigga. I'm stupid gifted. This voodoo mixed with clear struggle and sheer hustle. I'm trying to stretch hands, string me too long and I tear muscle. Nigga, where was you when we was down and we slaved in kitchens? With my homie putting cut on that bird like it's Cajun chicken. I'm amazing, they parade, but my crown wasn't made to fit them. You got signed off my signature style, that's plagiarism. I'm Miyagi with it, try to kick it like I can kick it. You just begging to get buried alive, but I can dig it, shit, cop the biscuit. Map his block out and fly to visit. I'm in a Honda Civic with lip stickers. I watch him visit, plot and listen. Get close enough that I can kiss him. Since he pessimistic, I ain't run into my optimism.
Oh, man.
Come on, man.
Oh, that's up.
Come on, man.
Los.
Come on, man.
King Los
Come on,
is
man.
here.
Hey, they want that old thing back, yeah. What else we got, baby? Oh,
You come on the LA Leakers show, man.
Oh,
We're going
my
to be
God.
fully prepared.
look.
King Los, LA Leakers.
Man, look, everybody in the 410.
Yeah, man.
Yo,
That was just
Yeah.
the warm up. That was just the
Look.
warm up. Let's go.
look. To hip-hop, I'm Socrates. I'm top 5 in the 5th spot to mockery. The 5th pop, you do the Macarena, get rocked like Slipknot's discography. You click watching me, hoping I stumble. Your bitch watching me, you know it's a jungle. She like lions, not liars, nigga. I figured you'd be slow to rebuttal. She standing there drooling and dripping. You could only be humble, just be a gentleman. And put your jacket over the puddle. You poodle, that pun was a puzzle. I just want a Rapunzel. You know, she keep them extensions and she come with them bundles. Have fun with them double entendres. As I beg your pardon from the nonsense that's sponsored. I'm non-responsive, just armed with a conscience that's in and out dimensions like triangular shape. Isosceles flying saucers, defying the laws of physics. My mind's like a luxury prison. Ain't no escaping these bars exquisite. I breathe Sweep laws, beat art exhibits. I'm black magic like Shaq spinning off his pivot. Niggas reaching. Y'all forget it. Even that metaphor was a metaphor for how it's hard to get it. Y'all ridiculous. Love to take facades and hype it. Like I ain't blessed with some shit I gotta guard my life with. A lot of rappers try hard to bite it, but they joints ain't nearly as tight as with this arthritis. My plight is, if you lyrically fit, you got something from me. Even niggas I wrote for and they send me my fucking money. Well, I ain't got a song with such and such. You wonder, buddy? I'm the only one that got overlooked by his understudies. I feel disrespected to the core of my soul. My skill been perfected, no ignoring my glow. I will lift a weapon and perform my foe, then still raise my son without ignoring my goals. My rap perfect the dreams that I see in the night, so I ask to project being. I'm a being of light. To be in this arena, I mean just to be in this light. You might need the work ethic of a Venus and Serena, then study the sun and Jupiter while Venus in between them. My city full of hustlers, you seen the demeanor. 88 dope boys, clean in the Beamer, but it's deeper than a four-finger ring in his beeper. When his mama was a crackhead that think she was a diva, and his daddy was a hothead for the cream with a fever. You just trying to live life, nobody get your plight. But you on teams with the reaper. The bitter consequences seem sweeter and sweeter. To be an achiever, duck 3 from the heater. Plus the prison population got the streets in a sleeper. But you a smooth criminal. You can make that quarter flipping off one hit. You can turn a king to a leaner. Well, my cousin made 60 million and couldn't quit. It's a thin line between a fucking fiend and a dreamer, nigga.
Oh, King Low. I want this to keep going, bro.
Can we do one more? One more beat? We cannot let you leave without touching this beat.
Let me get into it.
King Los is here, the green juice is here.
Highly professional, widely respectable mind and vision. Cosmic celestial, extraterrestrial rhyme encryption. Intergalactic perpetual cognitive sonic rhythm of a verbal god constructed astonishing composition. Man, my competition ceased to impress me. I need challenge. And mumble rappers only exist cause I need balance. When I seek malice, revenge reeks of a sweet phallus. I defeat cowards, remove your shoes at the sheep's palace. I rebalance the solar system with chakra energy. The binary code in my carbon causes divinity in the glow in me. But I can't even grow in peace. These fake conscious niggas vibrating too low for me. Why would you throw to me? Boy, ain't no hoe in me. I crack heads with this case in. It ain't Jodeci. Niggas bad see me over. Can't nobody oversee me. I fry that nigga egg, you think he getting over easy. I'ma mix a whole Weezy. Andre, Biggie, Flows, and Yeezy. Pocket pumping, Ellen, Jeezy, Pimp C, Juicy, Gucci, Easy. 2 Live Crew reviews with Stevie. Wonder how they view me, see me. Rick James, J Brown, MJ Breezy, SN, OOP for Sheezy. 8-ball, MJ, GODB, DOB, or DMC. DMXC, PMD, Master P, and CMB. The G and me, demands that you fit me with them. But in the scope of things, I'm way more 50 than M. They took my hopes and dreams and turned me to a savage. 21, tennis, you grip on my shotty. She called me Poppy, I with the Bugatti. She ride the digits like it's a Ducati. She do some cardio, listen to Cardi, then turn up some Nicki and switch to a Bobby. Then she thinks she loaded, she vegan, do yoga, then rollers and blunt. We listen to Molly, body called homicide, this is a body. I throw dick in the body, just to kick, stick in the body, just to kick it with me and bitch do karate. Like, no, to this world, I'm a star. You ain't thorough, you a girl, you a broad. I got a click, it got a stick, I got a burrow, I got a rod. If nerds looking for beef like Harold and Kumar. I'm on a block with a methamphetamine move. And the crooked judicial systems never let the kings rule. Where history falsified and taught in every school to disconnect you from your culture like everything cool. See what having low self-esteem do? Got you crazy, nigga get jumbo presses with recessive gene pools. Ooh, I guess from that perspective we are foes. I mean, you niggas was accepted, we was chose. If you don't postulate what I aesthetically propose, and we don't vibrate, that means we diametrically oppose. Yo, I hope this message electrify us. The European be leveraging privilege through ethnic bias. If you ain't do no scholarship on this, don't dare speak. This that ether that's gonna separate leaders from mere sheep. It's like whipping on the back of a slave with bare feet when historically black college universities pledge Greek. It just isn't in your favor. It's of sick, twisted, sadistic, ritualistic nature. Look, you think it's odd they slaved you? If the slave master ain't served the same God they gave you, 400 years. Hold up. Yeah, hold up. Look. You think it's odd they slaved you? If the slave master ain't served the same God they gave you, 400 years later, and you hardly stable, and you turn around and beg that same God to save you. Look, word to the sunrise. Homie, save yourself. Everything else, get a thumb drive. The young lives of black queens lost, misplaced, who've been raped, beaten, indoctrinated, and disgraced. We've been wet, shackled, and mutilated, put through degradation, disrespectfully viewed and hated. I mean truly flagrant, treated like shit in this fucking nation. Then in 1850, slaveholders came with this publication called How to Make the Ideal Slave. Now dig the vision. Rule number 1 was unconditional submission. Keep them in place with authority, cause rule number 2 was create inferiority. And Ye said that slavery was a choice, but let's be real clear. Rule 3 was take away their voice and instill fear. Hell yeah, I can see the passion in your eyes. I admire your perseverance for your fashion and your grind. But rule number 4 is why that hat was our demise. You keep the slave interested in the master's enterprise. Cause rule number 5 was the province of education, information, recreation. Look. You listening to me?
Teach them, we listening.
To the province of information. That's a psychological prison niggas have yet to come out. Cause the slaves caught you. Man, hold up. That's a psychological prison niggas have yet to come out. If the slave master caught you learning, they cut your tongue out. Y'all hear me?
Yes, yes.
If the slave master caught you learning, they cut your tongue out. Then segregation 100 years was so thorough. No wonder there's so many kids on drugs in this cold world. Nigga, shout out J. Cole.
Yeah. Mind blown.
Look, hold up. I go off the top with an hour bill. I am just incredible. I'm a vegan with sour milk. Alright, I quit.
Hold up. Los. King Los. They call him that for a reason.
This ain't fair.
I don't know how any rappers can go after that. That's Freestyle 95. I'm glad we did it before the year was over. Yeah, it was 95.
That's pretty interesting, yo. Yeah, but I look at that as I look at shit like that as like self-fulfilling prophecy. If these fucking goddamn psychopathic, esoteric, occult motherfuckers, because these motherfuckers do have some weird ass fucking rituals, and if they believe in shit like that, then and they're the actual movers. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to fulfill certain prophecies and make shit happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just yeah. Trust me, I know. Like when goddamn Alex Jones broke that fucking Bohemian Grove shit back in the day, and he got up inside. You just have to watch that shit. Alex Jones, Bohemian Grove, and these motherfuckers are worshiping this big ass owl, man. They have this weird ass ritual, and they're doing like really weird shit, and like you know they believe in this shit. Yo, motherfuckers really do believe in that shit. I don't know, in this otherworldly, supernatural type shit. Yeah, so I mean, shit like that, and watching what's the lady, Maria Bonovich or whatever that bitch name is, who be doing like the spirit cooking and all these, having these spirit cooking parties. all that shit that Epstein and the motherfuckers are doing on this goddamn sex island, and like motherfuckers are into this shit, yo. I mean, even with religious cults like Jim Jones, you know what I'm saying, and what's the motherfucker from Waco, Texas? What's that dude? David Koresh. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be into that shit. They some dude in Mexico say he's the second coming of Christ, yo. He's Christ in man form. But the cremation of care, man. Yeah, Jay-Z be all up in that shit, yo. That's like, I don't know, bro. And I understand, like, and that's how they view, like, that's their reality. All that skull and bone shit, man, you know what I'm saying? Oh, there's so many occult organizations, you know, stemming all the way from the earliest is the Egyptian mystery schools. And motherfuckers do believe in this universal energy. When certain shit is alignment, you should do certain things at certain times, you know what I'm saying, whether it be May the 1st or fucking December the 25th or whatever, yo, you know what I'm saying? It's just exactly. I always wondered that too, like, why don't you just call them celebrities? They're like, oh, stars. Like, you're a star? Really? Well, Alpha Beta say that all that shit is the Greek. That's how the Greeks said it. That was the Greek alphabet, instead of just trying to break it down into one syllable. A, B, C, D. They had whole words for their fucking letters. Fuck. Oh, trust me. Like I say, I know all the occult groups run the whole fucking world. That's how that shit is set up, from these small round table groups, and whatever their religion is, it ain't what other people do, yo. It ain't, that shit ain't what most religious people believe in that shit, yo. These motherfuckers truly do believe some other shit, yo. Exactly. Like I say, and this is some very, very selective shit. That's why, even within the Vatican, yo, only certain motherfuckers got access to certain parts of that shit, yo. And especially they fucking librarian shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers don't really, I don't know, man. I understand what you're saying, though. Like, this esoteric shit really does run every fucking thing. Oh, yeah. The motherfucking, and motherfuckers think it's an X, but it's not an X, it's a cross. It's a triangle and a cross. Triangle at the top, cross at the bottom. It's not an X. I don't really watch TV like that. Rihanna's a video from Rihanna. I know who Rihanna is. Seen a lot of pictures of Rihanna. I don't think I've ever watched like a whole Rihanna video. Bro, I really watch like music, especially music videos. I've been out of that shit for so long, bro. Like, honestly. But even in the music that I listen to, like, there's always questionable shit. But, where's my music? Flying Lotus, Daft Punk, one of my homeboys, Ox, he's a local artist. Earth Gang, another local artist from Maryland. Sean P. I got some Lupe Fiasco. I got some Swiss Beats. That's like a lot of questionable shit on there. I got some Damian Marley, Bob Marley's youngest son. Joey Badass. Some Wale. A little bit questionable shit. Buddy. Definitely questionable shit on there. Some Gorillaz. Some Black Thought from The Roots. Some Nas. Some Kid Cudi. That's the album Kid Cudi and Kanye West did together. And then I have some David Banner, some Jadena, some J. Cole, Schoolboy Q, and they actually gave me a U2 album with this phone. But yeah, I don't listen to a lot of like willing to spend my money on that shit. Like, yeah, no Jay-Z or, you know, who else is it? I don't know, like whoever. I'm not gonna buy your shit if I happen to hear your shit somewhere, because I really don't. If I listen to the radio, I listen to like talk radio, NPR or some dumb shit. But I don't know. Especially when it comes to like videos, I don't watch that shit, bro. I done seen all the video. I'm born in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. I done seen all the good videos from Nirvana to motherfucking Onyx. You know what I'm saying? I done seen every style of video, from goddamn Diggable Planets to Digital Underground. You know, you're not gonna show me anything I've never seen in a video. And now they're like, the whole style is all 90s again, and the videos are retro and all that shit. Like, I go to the gym a lot. I mean, I might catch, because they have the TVs on and it's news and sports and videos, and I look up and it's like, headphones in, focus, nigga, focus. Don't get distracted by the bullshit. You look up, it's just girls gyrating. And then it's another video with some weird ass dudes, and they're just like moving slow, running over some hills or something, and it's like, next video, some girls gyrating. Fuck this shit, man. As good as poetry is, I avoid it. I feel you. Not a big poetry guy. I used to write poetry when I was younger, yo. I don't know, and then I started writing raps. America, home of the brave, land of the free. home of the slave, land of the beast. No rest, no sleep, no peace. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Stand in pace. No, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Keep in pace and never mind the dying rate of our race. Standing at the hinges of hell's gate, being told to follow an apple held by a snake. Blood is shed, staining the earth red, leaving bodies for dead in order to help the living get ahead. Historians making history out of his story, filling up the pages of textbooks to bore me for 8 hours, learning about cowards who invaded the native land taken away from us was ours. No truth to the pain, no reason, no justice, just us. The last survivors who refused to be crushed by the 9 planets of society and left in the dust. Yet, too many of us trust and lust without hesitation, holding hands with Satan, or frolicking with his maiden. And this is the world that you've made for my children to be raised in? One piece of dirt sectioned off by lines we cannot see, filled with people telling me what I can and cannot be. America, home of the brave, land of the free, home of the slave, land of the beast. I wrote that shit when I was in 10th grade, yeah. Yeah, I wrote that shit in 10th grade. The 7 Planets is a allusion to a kid's book called So My Teacher is a Space Alien, or in the next book was So My Teacher Found My Brains, or something like that, where there is this league of 7 planets or whatever that actually communicate and share technology, and they know about Earth, but they won't let Earth into their planetary league because we're barbarians and we still go to war with each other and we're destroying our own planet. And you know, if they gave us the technology that they have, then what would we do with it, because we're still like childish like. And so this was explained in like a kid's book, My Teacher Fried My Brains. But then later on I revamped it, and I rewrote that one bar because it was so obscure that I said, and I refuse to be crushed by the 9 areas of people's activity and left in the dust. The 9 areas of people activity is an allusion to Neely Fuller's work. Neely Fuller Jr. So he wrote the United Independent Compensatory Code System Concept Textbook, a compensatory counter-racist code, which is one of the first writings that describe racism as a system. And he said that racism impacts 9 areas I always forget what the 9 is. Okay, so the 9 areas of people activity, the 9 most basic ways that individuals, groups, nations interact with each other are economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war and counter-war. And so I changed the line in the poem from the 7 planets to 9 areas of people's activity. I know there is something weird with all fucking child songs. All those songs are fucking weird and creepy. If you like Rockabye Baby in the treetop, who the fuck rocks a baby in the treetop? And the baby falls, and then like London Bridges falling down, all that shit. Fucking row, row, row your boat. You know, all these shits are fucking weird ass coded shits, bro. All of them. But that's the thing. So now we operate on fiat currency, which is not backed by anything, because they don't want to use resources as currency. This is a Federal Reserve note. Federal Reserve note. This is a silver certificate. They're not the same. They're not. One is a receipt and one is a IOU. Because we don't have a resource-based economy. We have a debt economy, which is made on notes. A note. IOU. There you go. We don't have silver. This is my certificate for silver. I want to trade this for a precious metal. Here, you take this. Give me my precious metal. You could do that once upon a time. Now you just... This ain't even worth $1 because what's taxed? This is actually 95 cents. 94 cents. Maybe 93 cents. What is it, 93 cents? Because you got to pay taxes on it. I hate the Federal Reserve. But, as a disclaimer, I will not kill myself. I love my life. I don't ever think about suicide. That's so bad. It's so terrible. Because when you say things like, you hate the Federal Reserve, man, you never know. Y'all might find me, I might commit suicide by shooting myself in the back with a shotgun. And that's how they'll play that shit out, yo. You know? But I would never do that. Disclaimer. I enjoy being alive, man. I love my art. I got beautiful things coming for me in the future. I can see myself 50 years from now, 60, if I can live that long. 60 years, in 60 years, man, in 60 years I won't be but 90. I'm good. I'm good. By then, we'll have some good-ass life extension technology. I might live to be 120. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I'm having me some stem cell work done. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all growing new hearts yet? I'm about ready for a transplant. How much they cost? I need a brand new heart, some new lungs. I'll be young forever. Get me some robot legs, some robot eyes, so that when I blink twice like that, I can zoom in on shit. It's gonna be the shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Elon Musk could have us all connected to the interweb and through the neural lace. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, yo. Can't wait for all this shit. You know what I'm saying? But don't forget, yo, a silver certificate. Don't let them fool you, man. Do not let them fool you that you think this is money. It's not. It's not. Yeah. Yo, you know, motherfuckers done use sticks for money. Motherfuckers done use cow shit for money. For exchange. People done use goddamn seashells. Hell, in the Fallout series, they use bottle caps. Because they're rare and hard to find. They can use anything for money, man. It's whatever the main people say holds value. And they like that because they get to make it. You just can't go find this shit. And then if you make your own, they call it counterfeiting. And they can lock you up for that shit. So don't go around buying gold bullion and think you're going to press your own gold coins. Or 1 ounce gold coins and shit. You're going to jail. You're 62? Damn, dude, you had a good life. It's all downhill from here. You just sit back. You retired yet? Retirement? Shoo. Sit back in the shade, sip on some tea and lemonade. I can't wait till I'm 62. Especially if I ain't got no wife. I'm just sit back, holler at all the young girl. Hey, girl, what you doing, girl? Come here. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit. 62 a good age. You're not young, but you ain't like old. I don't think people old till they like 80. You know what I'm saying? You get like 80, 85, you starting to get old. You know what I'm saying? 90, like you old at 90. That's, you live a long time. 90 years, that's old. Man, yo, 55, 60, that shit ain't old to me. You find that stuff and barter with it, yo, that good old trade and barter system, yo. Trade and barter. I try to save some of the old money. Motherfuckers ain't gonna remember when money looked like this one time. I ain't gonna lie, I had $100 bill, the old 100, the small face like these. I needed that shit real quick one day. I ain't felt like going to the ATM neither. I was like, fuck. It was right then or nothing. I was like, I got $100. I'm like, damn, I spent my old 100 though. Motherfucker look at that shit all funny too, like, nigga, it's real, what the fuck you looking at it all crazy for? What the hell? And then before I started saving this, yo, I had an old 20, and I went to some store, yo, and I tried to spend the 20 in the store, and the cashier, like, she was a young girl, like, she was probably on some after school shit, you know, just working her first job, 17 years old, 16 to 17. She look at that shit, she's like, is this real? Why it look like that? I'm like, damn, you ain't never seen this shit before? I ain't never seen no money like this. Am I that fucking old? Or is these kids that fucking dumb? $1905, god damn. The old money. The only bill they got a black dude on it, the $2 bill. think they went to the moon for real? And then, oh, my man Ox, one of the guys that got some of his music on my phone, when I ordered some of his music, he sent me a signed dollar bill, yo. Got the real autograph. I use this dollar for a comparison because the dollar bill is the only thing they haven't changed, if you notice that. Why have they not changed the dollar? Because the symbolism and the story on the back is too significant to their esoteric, occult fucking way of running the world. And this shit really means a lot to them. And when you're born and raised in America and English is our national language and we only take a secondary language as an elective in high school when we're in our mid-teens, which is very fucking difficult to do when you've only spoke one language your whole fucking life, and Latin is not spoken anywhere around the fucking world, but for some reason, they put Latin on our money. In an Egyptian pyramid, in the fucking the bundle of arrows, the whole shit is just, you got, and there's a little owl on the front of the bill. Just look into the symbolism on the dollar. Everybody should know that, and that's why all the other money is big face, new design, colorful, and all that shit, and dollars still look like a fucking dollar. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Ow. And yeah, here's just another comparison of how dramatically the money has changed, except the fucking $1 bill. All the money looks way different, and now money looks even more different than this. I seen some $100 bills, yo. Like these shits got big ass blue stripes, like not even holographic, but just big ass stripes on the front of that shit. I was like, what the fuck? Super counterfeit proof now. But yeah, money don't look the same anymore. People hardly spend $2 bills anymore. Nobody hardly carries money at all anymore. I barely have money in my wallet. Like right now, I don't think I have any cash in my wallet right now. Period. Just debit cards. Because you can't do shit without a debit card. You gotta track your money, gotta track your spending habits, gotta know what kind of emails and fucking ads to send your ass. You can't do that if you can't track your spending. Because we know you were here at this certain time, at this day, because you brought this product at this terminal. And it has a chip in it. I said I wasn't going to get microchipped, and we're all microchipped. You want me to swipe it? No, put your chip in. Put my chip in. Put my chip in. Read my chip. My chip's malfunctioning. My chip's malfunctioning. I don't have access to my credits. My chip's malfunctioning. Hello, service? You have reached the banking line. If you would like to, and that's how that shit's gonna be, because they're gonna just be able to, like, cut your fucking chip off. Now you don't have access to nothing. Do I swipe it? No. Put the chip in. Insert your chip. Wow. Whoop. We scanning you now. I got the Roosevelt gold dollar. But yeah, America was talking about doing the same thing, just getting rid of the penny, because the copper content of the penny is actually worth more than 1 cent. Like a penny is more valuable if you just melt them bitches down and use it as metal. Like, but yeah, there's like, just do away with the fucking penny. America's so weird, bro. We're such a weird place. Such a weird place, yo. Old money, old money. New money, new money. Yeah, increasing that shit. $2 bill. What was that? Who was that group had an album called $3 Bill? Limp Bizkit. That's crazy how hard that beat was.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Do you think that you could do Tropic Thunder today? Would that be possible?
Oh, you could do it. And again, like Eddie, I look back, to me, that movie to me was a circle back to my dad's movie called Putney Swope, which I highly recommend anyone who hasn't seen to see. About a black guy who takes over an ad agency in the 60s because everyone votes for him when the head of the company dies because they think no one else will. And it's about what happens when someone who is free-spirited takes over an essentially corrupt endeavor. And then he realizes and confronts his own corruption. But I remember I was probably 2 or 3 when that was being shot and when it came out, and it was so a part of my upbringing, and I just remembered some of the folks that were around my dad at that time. And so when Ben called and said, hey, I'm doing this thing, and I think maybe Sean Penn had passed on it or something like that, possibly wisely. And I thought, yeah, I'll do that, and I'll do that after Iron Man. And then I started thinking, this is a terrible idea. Wait a minute. And then I thought, well, hold on, dude, get real here. Where is your heart? And my heart is, I get to be black for a summer in my mind. So there's something in it for me.
Goddamn.
The other thing is I get to hold up to nature the insane self-involved hypocrisy of artists and what they think they're allowed to do on occasion. Just my opinion. And also Ben, who is a masterful artist and director, probably the closest thing to a Charlie Chaplin that I've experienced in my lifetime. He writes, he directs, he acts. If you had seen him when he was directing this movie, you would have been like, I'm watching David Lean, I'm watching Chaplin, I'm watching Coppola. He knew exactly what the vision for this was. He executed it. It was impossible to not have it be an offensive nightmare of a movie. And 90% of my black friends are like, dude, that was great.
What about the...
I ain't even gonna lie, yo. Like, I'll still watch Tropic Thunder just for that shit, yo. Cause somehow, this motherfucker pulled that shit off as a movie. You know what I'm saying? And there's like, I don't know. You can get into the whole fucking blackface, all this, blah, 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 blah. But the only reason I like it for real, because the first time I seen Tropic Thunder, no lie, it took me a minute to figure out that wasn't a black dude. I swear to fucking God, yo. Like, my very, very first time seeing that shit, I'm like, this dude is funny as shit. And I'm looking, I'm like, that dude looks familiar. I'm like, yo, that's Robert Downey Jr.'s character? And then when I realized, I was like, what the fuck? Oh my fucking God. Like, it did take me like almost the whole first scene before they like reveal, because there's a scene where they obviously like they're filming a movie in the movie, and so the actors, they talk about actors and blah 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 whatever. So you know it's him, but before that shit, I caught it before that part, and I was like, God damn, motherfucker, you had me. Like, this motherfucker had me for a second. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's it, and that's the reason I like that shit, yo. Like, you played that shit so fucking well, motherfucker. Like, you got that one. You got that. Like, goddamn, I don't know, I tried watching Dr. Dolittle, and it's like, why did you take this part, bro? I tried to watch it and couldn't get through it. I'm like, it's Sherlock Holmes. He's probably been one of my favorite Sherlock Holmes. And he did a hell of a job as fucking Iron Man. And so I'm like, alright, watch the Dr. Dolittle movie. And it was like, nope. No, not this time, buddy. But hey, you know, kids might like it. Kids might think it's funny.
You know, I can't disagree with them, but I know where my heart was.
Yeah.
And I think that it's never an excuse to do something that is out of place and not of its time. But to me, it was just it was a blasting cap on. And by the way, I think White Chicks came out pretty soon after that. Yeah. And I was like, I love that. Yeah. I was like, that was great. Yeah. So, you know.
Well, it might be the last time we see that, unless things change. It seems like no one can really. I don't think you could do blackface anymore. I mean, we almost lost the Prime Minister of Canada because he did brownface. He pretended to be Saudi Arabian, right? Yeah. He did Arabian Nights in high school or something like that.
It's an interesting and necessary meditation on where is the pendulum, why is the pendulum right?
Yeah.
Where is the pendulum maybe cutting a little into what could be perceived as heart in the right place, openness of its time. But again, I mean, you know, there's a morality clause here on this planet, and it's a big price to pay. And I think having a moral psychology is job one. So sometimes you just got to go, yeah, you know, I effed up. Again, not in my defense, but Tropic Thunder was about how wrong that is.
Yes.
So, I take exception.
No, I think you could do it today. I think you could. I think it could be done today. There would be so much outrage, but there would also be people cheering. And if we boiled down all the bullshit and got to the actual result of what the film did, it's fucking hilarious. To this day, I watched it again about a year and a half ago. It's a great movie. It's a great, fun movie. I mean, it's ridiculous, over the top, hilarious, and it worked. And your portrayal, I mean, it wasn't egregious. It was necessary. It made sense. All of it fit. There's square pegs and square holes.
I was just thinking square peg. I don't know why I was thinking. Oh, I was thinking about Sarah Jessica Parker on the ride over here. Isn't that crazy? I think I drove by. Is it that Warner Park near here?
Yeah.
I think she went to school over there when she was doing a show. Anyway, interesting.
Yeah. It
it worked. But it might be the last time we'll ever see a studio take a chance on a guy wearing blackface and the prolific use of the word retard. Those are two things.
And by the way, that's Ben. The funny thing too was all the heat got deflected to Ben and Simple Jack.
Yeah.
That's what people were pissed off about, and I go,
Great.
but you never know when it's going to be your time in the barrel. You know, sometimes life just says, you know what? And I've been on both sides of that coin. Sometimes life just says, you're a symbol now.
Did you have anybody that was telling you not to do it? Were there a bunch of agents or anyone who was like...
My mother was horrified.
Damn. You're going to do what?
Really? Bobby, I'm telling you, I have a bad feeling. I was like, yeah, me too, Mom. But anyway, how are we?
First day on set, when they put the makeup on you, how hard are you sweating?
There's been a couple times. I was all the night before, and we were on Kauai, and I was like, well, here we go. And I was just running. I think I had 6 lines that day. But I knew that there was going to be choppers, there was going to be squib fire, there was going to be choreography, there was going to be, you know, it was going to be cacophonous. And the only thing that mattered to me,
cacophonous?
Again, what's my action? My action as an actor in this movie is to know what I'm doing, even if what I'm doing is
That's a cool way to say clusterfuck.
So I ran those 6 or 8 lines I had 1,000 times, lying in bed over and 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 over again. So the next day, I was free to enjoy myself and not be struggling to wonder what it was I was supposed to be doing. And then that's what it is. It was just, you know, it was one little mosaic after the next. And by the end of it, I had some pride that I had made it through. Forget that it was, you know, the blackface. It was special effects makeup. Day after day after day after day after day after day after day, except for the odd times when I would have my bleached hair and blue contacts in my eyes, or, you know, other characters, and it was just it was a piece of work I was doing, and I cared about doing it as professionally and as honestly as I could.
So when you memorize lines, that's an interesting thing that you said, that you were free to do it. Like, when you memorize lines, is there ever a part, like when you're acting, where you have to think, like, okay, what am I supposed to say next, and how much does that get in the way?
Look, I have a very broad band of tolerances. I don't care if the people I'm with happen to not know what they're doing, or don't know their lines, or stepping on my lines, or whatever, or want to change their lines and my lines. And it's always a different thing. It's like reading the room. It's like, you know, if I was a fighter, you go into the octagon and they go, you ready? And you go, and then you just
do it.
You go in. But so I've had it where I would try to.
Oh, things are going great on the show, man. We have 3 episodes that are online now. We've run 1 episode on our local cable channel, and we're getting insulated. We're getting the studio soundproofed and insulated, I think, this week. And so we're gonna move into the new studio, I don't know, hopefully soon. And we can start filming season 2, because we have 8 episodes for season 1, and I think I may already have at least 2 people, maybe a possible 3rd person, lined up for interviews already. So as soon as we can get in the studio, I'll I already have some guests ready, which is the best thing, like, because people can actually see the show. Like, prior to having any, you know, hard footage to show people, it's just like literally just trying to explain to them, like, what it is, what we're trying to do. And I don't know. I'm not the best salesman in the world. Like, it's so hard for me to just even get models to model for me. Henceforth, I paint myself a lot. But it's weird for me to do like a sales pitch on anything. And so, I don't know, just season 1, just trying to get artists interested in even doing it. For the first thing, artists are like myself. We sit in a room. Our shit is solitary, yo. We're kind of introverts. We can sit somewhere by ourselves for hours at a time and just do this shit and not really have to talk to anyone or explain this shit to anyone or shit like that. And most artists are that way. They don't feel like having to talk about their shit most of the time. They just want people to see it and enjoy it. So that's one key thing, is like finding artists who are, you know, extrovert enough to actually want to be interviewed on camera, that will be seen by lots of people. And it could be a little bit intimidating. I probably would be intimidated too my first time around, but luckily I've been streaming for a couple of years and I don't mind talking on camera. Like, it's not a big deal. I'm pretty handsome. I look good on camera. My voice is awesome. Do I sound conceited yet? But anyway. Yeah, so season 2, hopefully it'll be a lot easier to, you know, round up guests. So it's not like I'm pulling fucking teeth. Hey, you want to go to that dentist and get some fucking fillings done without Novocaine? Yeah, let's do it. That's what people act like I was asking them. I'm like, yo, you want to be on my talk show and get interviewed and show your art and just talk about your creative process and what keeps you engaged in art? And I don't know. Yeah, but just let me think about it. I'll contact you. Yeah, cool. Really? It sounds cool. Just let me know when. Contact people again, no responses, and hey, you gonna be on my show? And like, I don't know, you think I'm a dweeb or something? I don't know. Anyway, it's doing good. Alright, Steez is out. Wait a minute. Did I just have another brush? I had to. Probably did. Oh, me oh my, me oh my. Alright, okay.
But before everyone else, I would get it down to an acronym. So if there was 1,000 words I had to remember, I would just remember the first letter of each, and I would put it on a piece of poster board, and then I would stand away from it, not as far as you and your archery setup over there, but far enough away to where I can see it, but kind of can't see it, back when my vision was a little more clear. And I would just run it.
I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, guys.
When I did the first Sherlock, we were rewriting it so much, you know, I'd have pages and pages of stuff. I was like, give me an earwig. And it helped me with my accent. And then I started getting into like, you know what's so great? I can finish work, go home, hang out with my kids, or do whatever I want to do, go train. And in the morning, they can change it all they want. I don't have to trip if you know, unless it's some monologue that you want to really be committed to that's not going to shift. I'm just go like that.
So you'd put one of those little earpieces in, and they would feed you the lines. Yeah.
And now I've kind of gone as far as you can go with that, and I'll probably go back to a new method or a new version of the old method.
So it's basically improvisational. Like you in the moment, like you decide with whatever preparation you're going to do for each role how you're going to do it. Whether you're going to go and memorize everything obsessively, or whether you're just going to be a little bit more loose and free with it.
Yes, it depends on the script too. Like Tropic Thunder, Justin Theroux wrote that script with Ben. It was a really good script. I mean, my missus, who next to my mother, was, you know, probably more so, is the opinion I was really waiting on. And she was reading in the kitchen, laughing her ass off. She goes, "This is so wrong. This is so wrong." And she goes, "And it's so true.
Yeah.
If you do this right, you're doing something it's about a bunch of self-involved idiots somehow or other becoming heroes." And she goes, "I love that. If that's what it stays, then it's going to be good." And so, like for instance, the never go.
Yeah.
Full.
You don't
blah, blah,
want to
blah.
say it.
No. By the way, I guarantee you, I'm getting out of here. My stock is not plummeting when I leave here. I'm not smoking dope. I'm not doing a musk. I'm going to do everything
My
right.
stock went up the next day.
All right.
Dropped 6, went up 9.
With who?
I don't know. I don't understand it.
I love that you now have it. Now it's a piece of art.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
6% in the smoke. God bless his heart.
Just saying. Motherfucker, I'm not smoking no dope with you. You're not about to Elon Musk my ass. Really? Shit. Yeah, so if you go to their Electric City Television, I don't know if you guys can see that. But where's their videos?
I started drawing.
I love the music, so I love playing this intro.
Today on Electric City Television's Roundtable Discussions, we'll be speaking with Richard Huck. Richard is an artist and educator. He's a longtime board member of AFA and a signature member of the Color Pencil Society of America. We'll be taking a look at some of his photorealistic color pencil drawings. Welcome to another episode of Electric City Television's Roundtable Discussions. I'm your host, Travis Prince, and today our guest is Richard Huck. Rich, it's nice to have you with us.
Well, thank you. It's nice to be here.
So, right off the bat, I want to let our viewers know as much about you as they can. So, start off with some of your...
All right, so this is on Electric City TV on YouTube. And if you go to Electric City TV on YouTube, you can catch episode 1 with Joy. That first the one we just watched was actually episode 2.
And it wasn't an arm and a leg, you know. Thanks for having me here today.
It's Roundtable Discussions. We'll be speaking with Joy Zabata. Joy is a creative who captivates the abstract and brings it to life through vibrant expressions. Her favorite mediums to work with are acrylic, clay, and oil. Welcome to another episode of Electric City Television's Roundtable Discussions. I'm your host, Travis Prince, and today our guest is Joy Zabata. Joy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Travis. Thank you so much for having me here today.
We're happy to have you here. First off, tell us a little bit about you.
So there's that episode. That's the one that actually aired on TV, was episode 1 with Joy. And then we have this was the last show we did of the year. We filmed this in December.
So the ground is paper. That's my abstract expressionist side, so I kind of splash and drip.
So this episode is a little different because we're actually at the gallery.
Hi, I'm your host Travis Prince, and this is Electric City Television's Roundtable Discussions. We are live right now at AFA's 2019 December's member show, and I'm speaking with one of my favorite artists, Ted Scazzafaro. How's it going, man?
Good, thank you. That's very kind of you. Thanks.
So this member show is really big, and we have a lot of different artists in here. How many times have you presented art in a member show here at AFA?
This is my first time. I just joined AFA this year after my show. It's a great place. It's really fun.
So yeah, the show's going pretty good. Like I say, we have 8 episodes, so that's 3 of them. We're gonna like just run one episode a couple times a week for like 2 weeks or whatever, and just trying to stretch them out a little, just so everybody can have a chance to see it. Like, you know, run it in the morning 1 or 2 days, and then run it in the evening 1 or 2 days for a week, and then do the same thing the next week, and then do the same thing with episode 2, where it runs a couple times a week for a couple weeks. And then hopefully by then we can already be in the studio filming new episodes for the next season. So by the time we run all 8 episodes, which should take, 16, 17 weeks or something, that's enough time for us to start to at least have half of season 2 edited and shot and edited down and ready for airplay, maybe. Or we can go on hiatus and then come back after a couple weeks and just play all the episodes over again, and then we come back with a whole new set. Or however the studio wants to do it. Actually, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, man, I'm just the host, man. However, I'm not in charge of which episode rolls out at what time. You know what I'm saying? Because these are some of the later episodes we shot. Actually, like we did several episodes before Joy, but they still made her episode number 1. Hey, and I'm cool with that. It doesn't bother me. You know why? Because I'm in every episode. So the dude who was actually the first guy we interviewed, he was like, so when is mine gonna run? I'm like, he was salty a little bit. He was a little bit salty because he was the first interviewee, but his episode didn't air first. He didn't say he was salty, but just the way he said it. When is mine gonna play? I was like, I don't know how they decide the order. That's not up to me. It was so good though. But that lets me know he's anxious to see it and to have people around him, his friends and family, like, so when it does play on TV, he can call everybody or have everybody over for a little watch party or whatever with some popcorn and some light snacks and beer and be like, yo, I'm gonna be on TV tonight. Most people don't get a chance to say that, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be on TV. Like, on legit, it's a local channel, but still it's like TV, not just on the internet, but like some real shit. I think it's awesome.
Psychedelics seem to have taken us out of a state of almost sleep and brought us in.
Yes, you know.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Psychedelics,
You know
man.
what
Psychedelics,
gives
man.
me like serious anxiety when I find out that someone got a Vegas residency. I go, how many nights a week? 6 nights a week at the Stratosphere.
It sounds, I mean, someone told me David Spade was thinking about doing one. And he went to go see Louis Anderson, who was doing one. This is before Baskets. And he was like, it was just the saddest thing I'd ever seen. Like, that was like Carlin's last stand was a Vegas residency.
Did he have a Vegas residency?
Yeah.
Where was he at?
I forget where he was, but he had like a meltdown where he like went off on the crowd, just like calling them all pieces of shit.
Really?
And yeah, and then had to go to rehab. Was like, I'm addicted to painkillers. Like, and then I don't think he ever performed again.
Well, he died before, like, he was performing when he died. I mean, I think he was at a hotel. I'm pretty sure he was sleeping in a hotel that he was performing at when he died.
I would believe that. But because that last special he did was terrible. Where he's like reading half of it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was just like a swan song for him. But I think that was after the Vegas residency, so he must have been doing more.
Yeah, his schedule was very, very hectic and unusual. He was doing 1 hour a year, an hour special that he would film, and he would write it all out. Like, he would write it all out and then tweak it a little bit, but it was more of a monologue than it was like set up punchline jokes. And he seemed to be, he was falling into this more like more of a social commentator in some aspects than he was a stand-up towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and someone told me that a lot of the reason he did an hour every year was because of like tax problems. The IRS was coming at him hard, and so he had to be working that much, and it kind of made him miserable. You know the story about his 9/11 story, right?
Tell me.
Where he recorded a special called "I Kinda Like It When a Lot of People Die." That was the name of the special.
That's right.
And he has this whole, it closes with a big long 20-minute thing about like when he hears about people dying, he like the more the better. And he filmed it on like September 10th. And then the next day he came in and was like, we've got to cancel this. No one can ever see this or hear this. And now you can get the album. But even in the album, he's reading it. They destroyed the actual footage from the taping.
Really?
Yeah.
They destroyed it.
Oh, he was just like, no one can ever see this.
Wow.
Recorded it in Vegas at MGM Grand on September 9th and 10th.
September 9th and 10th.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What was it called?
I kind of like when a lot of people die.
Jesus Christ. He must have woken up the morning of September 11th and go, did I manifest this?
Yeah.
Look at that. I kind of like it when a lot of people die. And so the audio CD is just him talking?
It's like him working out the...
Wait a minute. It says streaming.
Like the audio streaming with Amazon Prime's audio.
So there's no video of it?
I'll look.
See if there is. Some person who works somewhere might have preserved it.
I mean, I feel like I would have heard about it. I mean, I listened to the bit, and he's like, I've got to read this is how I do it. So it's like a very early version of it, but it's not great. Wow. But I mean, I can't even imagine taping a special on September 10th.
He had some dark moments in his career. I took some friends to see him in 1988 at the Hampton Beach Casino. I think that's what it was called. In Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. It was like a place that people would go up for vacation. And we went to see George Carlin there way back in the day. And he always had the same opening act. And the same opening act, I kind of knew even back then, because I guess I was an open micer then. I was just starting out. I knew there were certain guys that took people on the road with them.
That's crazy, yo. Joe Rogan was kind of starting out in comedy and hanging out in comedy clubs and seeing George Carlin in 88. In 88, I was fucking 7 years old. Like, Rogan is old as shit, yo. Not old as shit. But he's not a young guy, but he looks so young. And he sounds youthful, and his attitude is young. Like, age is only a fucking number. Like, this dude was hanging out in bars and shit when I was 7 years old. Like, he's old enough to be my fucking pops and shit. But he seems like my peer almost to a certain extent. But he's only, I think Joe Rogan's like 50. He's young, but so even if he's, well, I'm not even 40 yet. Oh, so damn, he's probably like 12 or 13 years older than I am.
They took people on the road with them that just they weren't good comics, but they made them look like heroes. And
They did it because they were friends with them, or because they just wanted to have like the worst comic ever go up before them?
It's a good question. You know, you'd have to, I guess it would vary. But for sure, there's certain comics that like it when people go on in front of them suck.
Mm-hmm.
They do, and they want that. You know, there's certain comics that you see them taking people on the road, and you look at it, you're like, what the fuck? You're taking that guy with you? Like, what are you doing? Why are you torturing people like that?
Yeah.
But the opening act did better than George. Like, he had a terrible set. He had this whole rant that he was doing, because he unquestionably one of the greatest comics of all time. But he had hours that were just not good, and there was a period of time where it seemed like he just missed it, like it was missing, whether it was his personal life was off or whatever it was. But he had this whole rant that was like, fuck this, and he was like, and fuck Israel, and fuck comedy clubs. Like, he was saying fuck comedy clubs. Like, this was like this whole bit. He was reading it off of a yellow legal pad, and the whole audience was like standing there, like not understanding like where this was going. Like, we're waiting for the jokes. Where's the hilarity?
Mm-hmm.
And it just didn't exist. And my friends were mad at me.
Really?
Because I had taken them from where we live. We lived in Revere, and we all drove all the way up to New Hampshire. Like, yeah, we're gonna go see George Carlin. It's gonna be awesome. And it was terrible.
It's funny. I remember Louis C.K. in like an interview years ago was talking about how he took the pressure came off of him to always have a good show. But he said audience members loved saying, "Oh, I saw George Carlin once, and he was awesome." But they really loved saying, you know, I saw Carlin once, and he was horrible. Like, they still get the experience and the story of it, and it's theirs forever. So you don't have to worry about doing bad.
It's way better though if they say you were funny.
I think to see a legend bomb would be great.
Well, if you were a Carlin fan, you got to see those. If you went to see him live a bunch of times, yeah, he had those rough spots, man. You know, it's one of those things. If you're going to do an hour of stand-up every year, you're going to have some rough ones. There's just no way around that.
Oh, 100%.
It seems like that's just... I mean, it can be done. I think it can be done. I mean, I think you can put together... Like, I'm 6 months in from my last special. I think I could do another special in 6 months, but it wouldn't be as good as my last one, I don't think.
Yeah.
I just don't think it would. I just think you need time.
Yeah.
1 a year is crazy.
1 year, it's insane. Like, there are guys like Jimmy Carr, who while they're touring, they're writing jokes and just putting them away.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the tour, when they tape the special, they have all these jokes they can go through and look at, and then start the new tour. From that seems like... I like to sit in my set, you know what I mean? I just wanted to be focused on that, and not always be writing the next thing. But some people who are just like, I'm just going to go up and talk, and it's happening a lot now. I think with like the prevalence of Netflix specials, people just want the money, and they're famous enough they can just go up and just get through it. And I'm like, this is your legacy.
Yes.
Like, why would you want to put out a bad special ever? I don't care what they're paying you.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure it's great.
I feel the same way. And I feel like those people that watch that, when you do that, man, if you don't acknowledge that you fucked them over, they're never going to trust you again. If you don't say, hey, look, that one wasn't a good special. I gave it a shot. It just wasn't right. It didn't come out right. I thought it was pretty good. And then the taping didn't go well. And if you don't do that, they're not going to listen to you, man. They're like, this is my best work. Like, this is your best work?
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck?
You can like fool them once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I went on tour right now and just did the same material from the special, like people would be like, okay, but they're not coming back the next time.
Right.
You know?
They're gonna get mad at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the name is Dr. Alan J. Hynek. Weren't you with a thing called Project Blue Book? Well, I thought they shut it all down. He said, mind, don't they?
40, 40. 40, 40.
Hello, freak bitches. Speaking of dying, tell me about Ann Coulter.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm dealing with all day.
So,
this Ann Coulter situation.
So Ann Coulter was at the roast of Rob Lowe. It wasn't live, right?
Yeah, it was on last night.
But when did they film it?
Last Saturday.
Last Saturday. So only a week away.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, you know, this is the sixth roast that I've written for, the third one that I've been a staff writer on, and it's always interesting when someone gets booked, you know, what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. And Ann Coulter was one of the last bookings that we had, and I was excited to help her, and she didn't want to do anything that the writers told her, you know, that she sort of had to do, like to be funny. And she's
like what?
She didn't think anything was funny, so she rewrote everything, like the script that we originally wrote. Anyway, she bombed really bad.
She bombed really bad, but what was she trying to avoid? Like when you said she didn't want to do what they wanted her to do.
Well, we wanted her to write, we had stuff in her voice, like with her angle, and a little bit of self-deprecating at the top. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it was, you know, supposed to be like, hey, I'm Ann Coulter. You know, you might be wondering why I'm here. It's at the Rob Lowe roast. It's because it's the first time that I'm not the most hated person in the room. You know, like sort of like put it off on her. Let her. You got to acknowledge who you are. But instead, she's like, nah, I don't like that. I'm not gonna shit on myself. It's a roast. Why would I do that?
That's
You know,
what she
there's
said? No awareness.
There's no. I mean, those weren't her exact words, but she just said she wasn't going to do that. She would just
Wait a
cut
minute.
out. You go back and forth via emails, and then all of a sudden, all the good stuff is cut out, and there's bad stuff, and some of the stuff's rewritten.
Did you meet her in real life?
Yeah.
Did you meet her in real life before the actual roast or the day of?
The day of, I talked to her on the phone 5 days out, which she was okay on that. She's like laughing at the script, but then once it's in email, you know, she rewrote it. It was bad.
But you really think that she's less hated than Rob Lowe?
No, not at all.
Everyone loves Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
No, it was.
Who was the most hated person in the room besides her? Was the joke about Rob Lowe?
Yeah, the joke is like, you know, she's saying that she's hated.
Right.
She's acknowledging
Exactly.
that. And she's saying that Rob Lowe's hated, so it's a joke.
But it's not really.
That part doesn't need to be funny, though. We just needed her to acknowledge that she's a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
And she didn't want to do that. Instead, she came out and literally is like, you might be wondering why I'm here. It couldn't possibly be to promote my new book. And she leans down all awkwardly and pulls out her shitty book, In Trump We Trust, E Pluribus Awesome. And she says,
Wait a
like,
minute,
E Pluribus.
wait a minute. Her new book is In Trump We Trust?
Yeah. Wait for it. E Pluribus Awesome. That's like the tag of the book.
Wow.
And she said it, and just the roar of booze
What
from this
is
crowd.
this book?
She loves Trump.
You
She's
ready for
cashing
this?
in on that Trump shit money.
She wrote, that is her 11th book. She's written 11 books.
Whoa.
She's worth a good amount of money.
Jesus Christ.
What was the purpose of having her on the roast to begin with? It seems like the roasts have always had like a kind of like a goat, you know, like Jersey Shore. They had the situation on
They had
the
that
Trump
one.
roast.
We gotta listen. Hold that back up. I want to read this description. Pull up, make it smaller. So there we go. Donald Trump isn't a politician. He's a one-man wrecking ball against our dysfunctional and corrupt establishment. We're about to see the deluxe version of the left's favorite theme: vote for us or we'll call you stupid. It's the working class against the smirking class. Now, Ann Coulter, with her unique insight, candor, and sense of humor, makes the definitive case for why we should all join his revolution. Wow, she just bent over. She bent over for the man who might be king.
Yeah, she wants to play that character, but
Well, if he wins and she wrote a book like that, she's in deep, 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 deep. She will be the one to defend him every time there's any sort of a public.
he doesn't like her, by the way.
He doesn't like her.
He doesn't like
That's
her.
even
And one of
better.
the really funny things is that he changed his immigration policy, like tweaked the tone of it the day before that book came out, and it sort of like messed things up because
book?
Yeah, because he's sort of like, this
Softening.
book's like all about like, yeah, don't let anybody in, zero immigration, and he was sort of just like, he visited Mexico like out of nowhere, like the day before her book came out, and she's like, it just wasn't good press for her.
Well, back to Ann Coulter.
Yeah.
So this silly bitch. So what does she try to do? She tries to write her own jokes then?
Yeah, there's, I worked with Martha Stewart for the Bieber roast.
And she crushed it.
Crushed it.
Crushed
And
it.
The first thing she said to me was, I want to kill as hard as I can, so hook it up. And I'm
Martha
like,
Stewart's done time.
that's what I want you to do. Yeah, she's the best ever.
She's been in the pokey. She understands shit. At a level Ann Coulter with her privileged lifestyle of white people everywhere she goes.
Correct. And so Ann Coulter basically says that, she doesn't like this joke, she doesn't like that joke, she rewrites this, she puts a pitch for a book at the top. First off, she was like third to last. She was second to Rob Lowe. It went Ann Coulter, Jeff Ross, Rob Lowe, end of show, right? So all these people went before her. Ralph Macchio, Nikki Glazer, Pete Davidson, Jimmy Carr, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, and she got lit up. And I mean big time. Peyton Manning, Jewel, everybody. They'd hit everybody on the dais, because you always make fun of everybody at a roast.
Of course.
And then you get to the main target at the end of your thing. But when people went in on Ann Coulter, they went in hard, like very hard. Like Jimmy Carr had this one joke which I loved, which I'm gonna completely, destroy right now because I don't know exactly how he said it, but it was something like, Ann Coulter is here, and you ugly ratchet-faced piece of shit scumbag. It's like something like that, just like 5 insulting words, just gaggada, gaggada, gaggada. He goes, you are one of the most insufferable human beings on the planet. But it's not too late. You can change. You could kill yourself. And the crowd just, boom. I mean, just everybody hated her. So she was great to have on the dais.
Wow.
She could have killed me and Mike Lawrence, who's a huge pro wrestling fan, and Sarah Tiana, who's an old school pro wrestling fan. We looked at her like, wow, we can write her as a heel. She'll own it. It'll be great. We're all going to look like superstars because we were able to make Ann Coulter funny. But instead, halfway through the week, we realized, like, oh no, she doesn't get it and she wants to do this. And you don't want to scare her away from not being on the roast. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like, hey, you're gonna do terrible. Because then there's a chance that she might not do it. And we wanted her there because, if she's going to do good, great. Everybody's going to shit on her. But also, worst comes to worst, people love a train wreck. And this was a train wreck, super train wreck.
Did we play any of it, you think? No.
This was like a gif of a train wreck. Just
I gotta watch
boom, boom, boom. She was terrible. And the one thing Comedy Central did do, which is hilarious, is the reaction shots that they chose for her jokes, like when she was on stage, are hilarious. Like it just cuts to just people just sort of just studying.
Well, she made her bones in the safest, softest world, which is the world of like political commentary where there's 5 different people and everybody's shouting over everybody and you don't have to say anything that's really relevant.
Right.
And especially her, because she's just a button pusher. She's a white lady button pusher. And she gets up there and she says crazy things like if Canada doesn't like it, we'll invade them.
Yeah.
She says stupid shit like that she doesn't even mean. And like this is what she does. She pushes buttons, and Bill Maher calls her his friend, and they laugh together. Oh, ha, 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 ha. And she lives in this soft world. That world that she stepped into is not just one of the hardest worlds, but for a person like her to go on after someone like Jimmy Carr and get crushed, and then attempt to plug her book and all that jazz. Like, I bet she has no idea what the average person's perception of her is. Because she's dealing with that bubble, that fucking talk show.
Bunch of DC crazy idiots, yeah.
Well, that weird bubble where she's kind of legitimate in that bubble. And, she's the button pusher. Oh, here's crazy Ann.
Yeah.
She thinks she's wacky.
And another thing is, one of the main things at a roast is when you get made fun of, you should laugh.
Yeah.
Because it shows that you have a sense of humor. That's like the main thing. That's why Trump did it. Now he could be president. Charlie Sheen did it.
You think that Trump can be president because he did a roast?
Hey, Justin Bieber's the #1 artist in the world.
Oh, it's all roasts. That's what it is.
The results strongly support that these beings
These
are not
beings.
related to any known organ.
Any known organism. Aliens. These beings.
Hello, freak bitches.
There's a quote from Ray Kurzweil, which is, things aren't getting worse, our information's getting better, right? And so with Hillary Clinton, who was a career politician, right? And we have all known since we were young, most people, I think, when they think about politicians, they don't think, those are some honest people, those politicians. They usually are telling the truth. I think most of us think politicians, they lie. They warp things, they fabricate things, they use a form of deception to gain control of various power structures. That's what the animal does. So that's not new information when you find out that Hillary Clinton and the DNC, and I don't know if they completely connected those two, but when you find out that they were not, they didn't do what they were supposed to do. They helped Hillary Clinton become the Democratic nominee, and they actively tried to fuck up Bernie Sanders, right?
That's creepy.
But it's not a new thing.
I know, but it is creepy.
It's creepy.
And it's even more creepy that the woman who was in charge resigns and then immediately gets hired by Hillary Clinton.
Got a great job. Hillary Clinton's like, fuck it. I'm going to hire you, and it won't do anything. She hires her. She's so fucking unafraid of what's going to happen that she hires the woman who did such shitty things she had to resign, booed off stage, hires her into her fucking party because she's like, fuck you. I'm getting elected. You're not stopping it, right? But this is, again...
It's gangster, too, though. It's also a move on her part where, I mean, she's looking at, like, what Trump is calling her crooked Hillary. Like,
Yeah.
It's a gangster move. I mean,
Well, yeah.
to hire a woman like that, like, right in front of you.
Yeah, Wasserman Schultz, top post.
Mission accomplished at DNC.
But this is not a new thing, man.
What exactly? Well, let's go over this, because what exactly did they do that's so awful about Bernie Sanders? What did they do?
So they apparently came up with a way to disseminate information to the press, highlighting certain aspects of Bernie Sanders that would be unappealing to the voter.
And they did this, and this has all been confirmed. Can you Google that? Find out what they actually said? Let's find out what they actually said.
Summarize the WikiLeaks.
And see if we think they're being a bunch of whiny bitches. But for sure, they wanted Hitler. Look, she's got way deeper arms in politics. She's way more connected than he is. For sure, and this is what we're seeing too. It's like a big part of being a political candidate is how many favors do you have? How many people are you connected to? How deep does your influence go?
Right.
And obviously her influence didn't just sit within her own little group of people that were working for her. It had gotten to the DNC itself. So she's deeply embedded in this whole system, whether it's because of friendships or ideologies or people just wanted her. She's the chosen one, whatever reason, whatever deals were made or whatever, who knows what it is. But when you find out that an organization that's supposed to be the head, it's supposed to be if everything was on the up and up, it's supposed to be objective and looking for what the people want as the best party. But no, they're actually actively steering it, which is massively corrupt and kind of scary. Because if these people are deciding to steer an entire party, which is 50% of a political process. Because there's no, look, we've got Libertarian Party for the first time. People are taking Gary Johnson seriously. We're going to do that town hall debate on Wednesday, or town hall, one of those town hall things on Wednesday on CNN. But for the most part, it's Democrats and Republicans in most people's eyes.
Yeah.
So what they're essentially doing is rigging half of that process.
Yeah.
That's scary. That we don't think anything's wrong with that, but we put Martha Stewart in jail for not telling exactly the truth about where she bought and sold stocks or whatever the fuck she lied about.
We do think something's wrong about it, but we can't do anything about it. We do think something's wrong, but right now, okay, so if like that institution is corrupt, and if the Republican institution is in some ways corrupt, I think it might be safe to say, and I don't think too many people would be outraged at the idea that there's a institutionalized corruption in the entire American political system. And it's very similar to the problem that happens in bike racing. If one motherfucker rigs their bike or gets on fucking doping stuff that can't be detected, if you want to have a fair advantage, you've got to rig your bike and start doping too. Or the person who rigs their bike will always win. So if politics is a competition, which it clearly is, and if members of the competition are using nefarious means to achieve their goals,
which they clearly are,
then that would imply that if you wanted to survive in that system, you would also have to use nefarious means. Dum, dum, dum. But, and this is not new. This is old shit. What's new is technology. What's new is now people like Julian Assange are shining a light on the corruption. And his whole idea is, if I reveal this information, it will force reform via the outrage of the people who are supposed to be represented by a person who's breaking the law. That's his idea. We need reform. And right now, we're at the point where it's very similar to when you're in a family, and this is one of the worst things that can fucking happen, man. In a family, if there's somebody who's molesting somebody, it happens all the time, where a father or a brother will start fucking molesting somebody, right? And people in the family know it, but they don't do anything about it, because to talk about what grandpa does every couple of years means the complete disintegration of the fucking family, an apocalypse for the family. In the same way, as more of these revelations become clear, which we always knew, but you could always float into a happy place and be like, nah, I'm just being a conspiracy dude. I'm sure the stuff they're doing up on Capitol Hill is all fair and square. You know, you can just believe it, kind of. You just pretend to believe it. Now it's like, well, no, you're wrong. Look, hey, here's the fucking proof. And here's going to be more proof, and there's going to be more proof, and there's going to be more proof, until finally the American people are going to have to either just be like, I'm just going to believe that 4 is 3 and 3 is 4 because I have a nice, comfortable life and I don't want to fucking deal with this shit, man. I'm just going to trust the banks because the banks they like money.
Well, I have my job, and as long as I keep my job, I'll keep my benefits.
Yeah, and by the way, P.S., man, when you consider that, it's like, there's something pragmatic about that, as sad as it is. There's as depressing as it is, but the real awful problem is that this country, I think, is like a metaphysical machine that was built by some very intelligent people who understood the energy flow that comes through a society, and the elections were supposed to be an outlet valve for the pressure that builds up when people feel that they're being repressed, right? And if you start fucking with that output valve by putting up fake politicians that don't truly represent the people and hope that the people will believe that they have elected these people, if you put two shitty choices in front of us and we're supposed to look at that and be like, okay, everything's fine, then you're missing the point, which is that there is an energetic system that needs to get released. At some point the energy's got to go out. If it doesn't go out, you get revolution. That's the way the energy goes out, the wrong way. The idea is, let's fucking the American Revolution, brutal, bloody, awful, fucked. These geniuses, many of them Freemasons, got together and they were like, you know what? Is there a way that we can program history so that a society doesn't destroy itself intermittently with a fucking revolution? Because if we could do that, we'll build one of the most powerful, never-ending societies on Earth, because we figured out a way to outflow the pressure that builds up. So when you start fucking with the goddamn political system and pretend that everything's going to be okay, you are missing, I think, the point, which is that people who are very smart, maybe a lot smarter than the politicians we have today, recognized something, built a thing, and said, let's just trust the fucking people. Let's trust the people, release the steam, and voila, everything runs according to plan. Now, the gears are a little fucking gummed up, man.
A little.
Yeah.
A little? How gummed up?
How gummed up?
I think the gears are really crazy gummed up. I think this is the first time we're realizing how much money people make by running for president. How much, money it costs to run for president, but how much money top political figures make in donations and in speeches.
Yeah.
Have you paid attention to how much they make in speeches? Like Rudy Giuliani and Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton.
You mean bribes?
Well, this is what it is. These corporations can fund various universities. They can donate money to all sorts of different programs where they would have someone speak. And they can decide who gets to speak and who doesn't get to speak. And they also have, like, the Clinton Foundation. People donate money into that. They don't donate just fuckloads of money. So all these things, but hold on a second.
Sorry.
All these things, what they are essentially are, you're paying someone to speak for an hour, and you're going to give them $750,000, and you want me to pretend that that's normal. That's crazy. And what does this person do? They're a public servant. Okay, so they're a public servant, and while they're publicly serving, they're also making $750,000 to talk.
Yeah.
That seems a little crazy, doesn't it? Like, why do they make so much money to do that? And who is paying them? And what do you have to benefit by having them come and read some nonsense, bullshit, boring speech? A friend of mine went to see Rudy Giuliani after post 9/11 when he was on his victory tour. He was on like a lap of the country doing these speeches because everybody loved him because he saved the world during September 11th. He was the guy who stood strong, and everybody like, wow, Rudy Giuliani's a good man. So he wrote that and he started doing these speeches and he'd come to colleges. And a friend of mine went to see him and said it was dog shit. That it was a boring ass, like, reading with no passion. It was a cha-ching! Go in there and say some nonsense about freedom and the American way and terrorism or whatever the fuck and first responders and just, there wasn't anything real. It was a performance. It was like he was doing a one-man show all across the country for exorbitant sums of money.
God, that'd be fucking great if he was actually doing a one-man show.
$153 million in Bill and Hillary Clinton speaking fees documented. This is Jamie just pulled this up. That is stunning. That's a stunning amount of money. And
it's over 15 years. It's from 2001 to about now, it said.
Still, it's more than that. It's perfect then, because that's $10 million a year.
This is more recent. What she gets now, she had
225,000.
That's her standard fee. Oh my God.
Million over the last
she prefers a private jet and prefers a Gulfstream 450 or larger. The memo outlines that Clinton requires travel by private jet.
You know what'd be fucking cool though? Is this like if you were like a mad billionaire, could you just get Hillary Clinton to come to your house and like just speak to you for an hour in your living room? Like
this is fascinating. Hold up, scroll back down there. She made $21 million doing what? She made $21.6 million in speeches in just under 2 years.
That's amazing.
God. That's incredible. That's so much money.
She's like a kind of like crazy animal that you can like lure with money. Like you can actually, if you have enough money, you can lure a Hillary Clinton into your house. Like you just have to lay it out. She'll show up. Like if I put carrots in my backyard, I'll probably get a rabbit or two. If you have enough money, you can get politicians to come and start feeding at your mansion.
Wait, when does it become a bribe? Okay, so should she say, well, you can never be. It's weird, right? You couldn't be someone who is in public office and go and also have like a book reading tour where you read from your novel about crime or something like that. You'd have to be like a no fiction person who's, when you're talking about what you do for work. Yeah. That's part of what you're talking about. Like nobody's going to ask Hillary Clinton to come and speak about the history of jazz in the United States. Right? She's not going to give speeches on that. She's going to give speeches on politics, right?
I don't know.
Right? So, okay. So why is that okay? Why can you, like, have two jobs? That means you're having a second job. Like, you're doing your job. Like, you're saying the things that you say during your job, but somebody else is paying you, too.
Why is it okay?
Yeah, why is it okay to do that? Like, that seems like very problematic, right?
Why is it okay for your husband to go talk? Who was it he talked to? The head of whoever the prosecutor, who was it? The district. Bill Clinton went and had this secret meeting with who was it?
About what?
Well, right as
right. Lindsey, what the hell's her name?
Lindsey Graham from South Carolina? No, that's not.
Damn it.
The point is, like, you just are openly hiring the woman who somehow warped the process of getting a Democratic nominee.
Lindsey Graham.
There, yeah. What's her name? Loretta
Lynch.
Yeah. Doesn't that sound like a country singer? Is that a?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Loretta
I was wrong
Lynn?
at first. I was like, oh, this isn't right.
Yeah, Loretta Lynn, right? That's what it sounds like. Loretta Lynch. Yeah.
Now, Bill Clinton meets with the Attorney General on an Arizona tarmac. Now, listen.
By the way, flew in on his private plane and said that it was impromptu.
Who the fuck flies impromptu on a private jet?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Hey, who are we flying over right now?
He's just one of us.
Wait, are we flying over Loretta Lynch?
Oh, come on, stop down. I'm going to get a piece of apple pie. She's a good woman. We're going to sit on the porch and drink lemonade, talking about our grandchildren.
Sit on the porch on the tarmac. Nothing I love more than a nice picnic on the tarmac of an airport.
Well, this is the other thing that she lied about, being dead broke after leaving the White House.
Right.
Not only dead broke, but in debt, she said. But apparently that's just so not true.
Yeah, and now it's like, to make matters worse, it's like you have to, there's this weird idea that's like, listen, you might not like Hillary fucking Clinton.
Can you go back to that real quick?
But they're like, you better shut the fuck up about her, because do you want Trump to be president?
That is what's going on, right?
Yeah, so
look what it says here. This is where it's confusing. It says when Hillary filed a financial disclosure document after entering the Senate in 2001, she reported assets of less than 1.8 million and liabilities of more than 2 million. Well, what were they doing with all the money? What are they spending money on? Who the fuck, okay, who has like $2 million in assets and $2 million in debt? Do you have $2 million in debt? No. Most people don't have $2 million in debt. That's a crazy amount of money. Like, did you guys have a budget? You're dead broke. No, you guys are crazy. Like, what are you partying? You guys doing blow and buying Ferraris?
Just staying on Amazon late at night.
Who the fuck gets $2 million in the hole? Like that is, like, if you wanted to have someone that you wanted to balance the budget, wouldn't you pick the person that doesn't get $2 million in the hole? I mean,
oh man.
Trump's been bankrupt a gang of times too, right? Has he been bankrupt a few times?
Yeah, that's what they say. He says he likes going bankrupt. It's somehow part of some plan. But now the question: what about the shit about Saudi Arabia?
What is this?
You don't remember this? I remember when it's like Saturday Night Live was making jokes about them stealing like silverware and fine china and stuff from when they were like leaving, like on their last days there.
That's ridiculous.
What year was this?
This was like from 2000. Like when they were literally leaving and the Bushes were coming in.
Oh my God.
They were taking all sorts of extra artwork and all kinds of things. And I don't know if it's true, but I don't think the meme has gone away.
I don't know, man.
Huh.
That's hilarious.
I don't know. She's so gangster. Part of me, look, I kind of appreciate it, in a way. She's like our Putin.
Yeah, great, just what we need.
I'll tell you, part of me appreciates how gangster she is. Hello, freak bitches. Yeah, that is a real sweeping brush that people from both sides like to use, right? The people on the right like to use it on the liberals. The liberals like to use it on conservatives. We like to paint people like real obvious. Put them in a box. Make sure we categorize them. Yeah, so I mean,
that's what I said. I said, well, I think I might have accidentally started a little bit of it because I said, look, all you have to realize is there's just a disenfranchised part of America that feels like they're not being represented, and then immediately, I think Sarah jumped on me and she was like, "Oh, you're talking about the racists?" And I was like, "I don't know. You can't say that. You can't say that. Like I voted for, I'm not. And by the way, I voted for fucking Hillary. So I'm just saying what I'm noticing out of an election. So, I thought it was good of her to stand her ground and to hold and just say her point and not try to backpedal and I appreciate that. But,
well, the problem with that saying that anybody that voted for Trump is a racist. The real problem with that is because the only other alternative was Hillary, and Hillary was very flawed. That's just the way it is. You know, it's not an anti-woman thing to think that someone who has all the ties to corruption that she apparently does. I mean, you can go into it all day long if you want to. If you want to look at the Clinton Foundation or any of the other crazy shit that those people are involved with. It's kind of legal, I mean, it's not really breaking any laws. It's like you can get away with doing all that stuff. But all of it is like, oh, like the deleted emails and all that. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is this?
Yeah, and I think there was a large portion of America who just didn't want to share their opinion because they didn't want to be called a name.
Mm-hmm. And there's real concerns too, and people don't want to say this. There's real concerns about her health.
Really?
She hurt her head in 2012 because she blacked out. She blacked out, fell, fainted, and hit her head really bad, like really bad. And apparently she was fucked up for like 6 months. And this was 2012. That's only 4 years ago, man. And that's a really significant head trauma. And she was very eloquent in the debates. She's really articulate. I thought she kicked his ass in the debates. I honestly did.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she came off smoother, especially that second one. Like, he would say some crazy shit and she would smile. You know, I thought she handled it great. And she was so much more eloquent and so much better economy of words. The problem is it's so hard to trust that she's telling you the truth. You know, there's just too many things that she's been, like the difference between that Comey guy, what he said she had done with her email, and what she said she had done, and you play them back and forth. You ever seen the video where they do that? It's pretty shocking. You know, what he says is very different than her descriptions of what he says. You know, what he says is like, she violated some laws. And what most people thought apparently in the FBI, it's one of the things that people got upset at Comey, apparently, from this article I read at least. They were saying that the people in the FBI were very disappointed because they thought that he should have pressed charges. They thought that when they looked at all the evidence and all the stuff that he talked about, that he admitted that she had done that you can't do with classified data, she had violated all these laws. Like, if you were a regular person, if you were a regular enlisted person, and you violated those same amount of laws, dude, you'd be fucked. You would be fucked, Phil. They'll
really
put you in a goddamn cage, 100%.
Like, this sounds silly, but she just, like, they said, hey, we'd like to see your emails, and then she just got rid of them all?
She deleted them all. She deleted 30,000 emails, and she did it after a subpoena. At least some of them after a subpoena.
I didn't know it was after a subpoena.
See, find out how many emails she deleted after the subpoena. I don't know, the absolute specifics of it, but my point is, it wasn't like she was this awesome alternative. So people that wanted change, and they felt like what Hillary represented is a part of that big system, as well as she says her words, and as stately she is, and she's a much better representative of America in some ways than he is.
Yeah.
But she's just too tied to corruption. Like, all the stuff that she has done, like all the experience she has in government, all that should be in her favor. But for a lot of people, it wasn't this time. For a lot of people, they're like, this government is just too intertwined with these businesses that support it and pay it money, and they're going to all these different foreign countries and getting paid exorbitant sums of money to talk. It's like Bill Clinton was getting like $500,000 to fly to these countries that have all these like serious like civil rights violations on their people. Yeah, there was like something that Clinton had done. We kept trying to push this one through. See if you could find that. There's this one like dictatorship that he wanted to go and do. He wanted to go and do speeches, and they were like, "No, you can't go there. Like, you're not supposed to visit that place. These people are doing things we don't agree with." And he's like, "Yeah, I got to go over there and I'm gonna do a speech. So let's just try to get." Like, he just wanted to do that speech. He just wanted that cheddar.
I think it's. What's interesting to me now is the population on Twitter, at least, of people, my friends, that voted for Hillary, that are now just saying, fuck the rest of the country, I'm out, this sucks. God. It's like.
Did you see that the Canadian website, the immigration website, broke?
It crashed.
It broke. So all the Americans were like, fuck this, I'm moving to Canada.
Has anyone ever done that, though?
Fuck yeah.
You think?
Fuck yeah, especially Vancouver.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's pretty warm.
Vancouver's
it's like Seattle. Fun. It's basically just like Seattle.
It's better than Seattle.
But I mean, like, weather-wise, it's
same.
Yeah,
so it's probably identical, but there's something different about Vancouver that Seattle doesn't have.
What's that?
Like, almost like this, like colonial, like richness, this European richness. Like, you know that bridge driving into Vancouver with got the big lions and you're like, oh, this just looks like Lord of the Ringsy.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like it could be in Germany. and everything's a little more lush or a little more overgrown. I don't know, Seattle. See, I like Seattle. I love Seattle, but the downtowns look similar. But even still, like the downtowns in Vancouver, the food's always seems just a little bit better than Seattle.
Did you ever do? Oh man, that's a tough call. They're both pretty fucking awesome. You can't have shitty food in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
You know, like Oregon, like Portland. Portland's another place. They have some fucking banging food in Portland.
Dude. Did you ever go to that? You ever do go to that little taco truck circle?
Yes. Dude, they have a Thai cheeseburger. It's a cheeseburger with that like satay sauce, that peanut butter sauce.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And it's super spicy. It's got sriracha in it too.
Oh, I fucking love
God damn, it's good. Bill Clinton sought State Department okay for paid speeches related to North Korea
and the Congo.
He wanted to
the Congo?
He's an animal.
They're cutting kids' hands off in the Congo.
I respect his game. He's like, there's a lot of paper for me over there. I'd like to go get it.
I guarantee you, when she got elected, he was like, fuck, I guess she'll be around the house a lot more.
Look at this. It says the FBI about the deleted emails between March 25th and March 31st, 3 weeks after the subpoena. The campaign now says it only learned when the emails were deleted from the FBI report. Wow. How many emails? Oh my God. 30,490 work-related emails on December 5th, 2014, and chose not to keep 31,830 emails she deemed personal. Whoa.
That's interesting. Gee, by the way, do you know how difficult that would be? I have 33 unopened emails, 33,000 unopened emails in my thing, and sometimes I try, it's just like spam, and I try to clean it out, and it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it's not easy to clean it out.
Yeah, you like select all, delete, but then it only takes rid of like 800.
Yeah. So if you've been paying attention to all these people's reactions, everyone's trying to like figure out why Trump won. It's really fascinating. It's fascinating to see people freak out. It's fat. People are crying. People are fucking crying.
Oh, they stormed out of a school in Arizona. The kids marched out of a school to protest the president-elect.
Whoa. This is crazy.
Now, but there was a weird energy when Trump gave his speech last night. It was almost like the bully saying, "Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself." Like he was like, now we can be like. It was kind of weird because he has not been like super inclusive, and then all of a sudden he's like, "We need to heal together," and you're like, "Okay, you totally feel that way," but like part of me goes, "Is there a part of him that fucking hates everyone that doesn't like him?"
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He certainly. I mean, he's a super businessman. And super businessmen, they're game players. They're playing a game. So if you move towards them, and you make a move, they want to make a move to counter your move and fuck you up. Like that's Donald Trump's personality. That's why he sues all those people that he's involved in altercations with.
Yeah.
He just fucking squashes shit. He doesn't like if people are talking shit about him. But that's once you become president, like you gotta let all that go. Like you have to.
Yeah.
You gotta you can't be tweeting Jon Stewart at 1:30 in the morning calling him a pussy. Did you watch that video?
Oh God, yes.
It's hilarious. You can't be tweeting Jon Stewart at 1:30 in the morning calling him a pussy when you're in your 60s.
What the
You just
fuck?
can't. You can't do that. You can't do that anymore. You definitely now that you're the president, please stop doing that. It's just don't do it. You can think it, but don't do it. And even if you think it, why even bothering? What do you care?
They gotta get rid of his Twitter immediately.
Nope.
He
Let
clearly has
him
been.
keep tweeting. Let him keep tweeting. Who cares? Why not?
Oh.
Dude, political correctness just took a missile to the dick.
Now, do you think that's good or bad for stand-up?
Unquestionably good. Unquestionably good. In every way, shape, or form.
Really?
Yeah. It's good because he's going to do some goofy shit. He's going to say some ridiculous things.
Oh, right now, if you said something like, I like to go up and grab women by the pussies, everyone would be like, that has to be acceptable because half of America is not offended by that.
Dude, see, I'm a believer in that the president, in a lot of ways, shapes the mindset of the country because it's just a natural thing that happens in tribes. If you have one fierce tribal leader in a tribe, guarantee you the warriors that are in that tribe will also be fierce because they'll be under the guidance of the one wild fucking guy. I mean, that's how I mean, that's how like fierce armies get put together. You have to have a badass fucking general. Well, when your president is this guy who rarely gets riled up about anything, he's not emotional at all. He's super articulate and really well spoken. And he's a great orator. That's Barack Obama, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you would think of when you think of like a presidential person. He's probably the most presidential guy we've ever had as president. But then you go with Trump, like he's not doing that at all. Like he's just rocking it a totally different way.
100%.
Yeah. He's doing it like a businessman. You fuck with him, he's gonna fuck with you back, you know, you fucking piece of shit. Jon Stewart, you pussy. Jon Stewart.
His real name is
1:30 in the
Leibowitz.
morning, he's doing it. 1:30 in the morning. But that's the kind of guy that can fucking finance campaign for president all on his own and win.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Forget about whether you think it's a good thing for the country or a bad thing for the country. It might be the greatest success story ever. It might be like the greatest upset of any contest ever.
100%. There's no bigger upset.
Ever. Right? Like, what do you think the odds were when Donald Trump first entered the race in Vegas that he would eventually become president? What do you think the odds were?
I remember watching Seth Meyers' State of the Union address, and he said, Donald Trump's here. Donald Trump said he's running as a Republican. I thought he was running as a joke. And I doubled over and I remember thinking to myself, what an idiot. He could never be president. I literally thought he could never be president. And then to think that that's a fucking reality.
Yeah, it's interesting. Has any celebrity other than
Ronald
Reagan?
Ronald Reagan's the one I was curious about because they said that I don't remember the election. I was too young, but they were saying that despite the fact that he had already been governor, because that was like kind of like he had been in office, they were shocked that anyone would vote for Reagan. They thought he was a fucking joke. And dude, he destroyed Mondale. Like I look at those county by county polls where they show you what the counties voted. It's really fucking interesting because you like look at Ohio, it's all red, but Cleveland's blue. And like Columbus is blue and Toledo's blue, and so, but the thing is, just outside the city, everyone's voting for Trump, but in the city, people are voting Democrat. But if you look at Reagan's, literally, it's all fucking red.
Hello, freak bitches. People are really reluctant to give up fun shit, like lying and driving their car fast. Like those two things. People are gonna have a hard time with you like actually getting into their mind, seeing their actual mind, and being able to do that so we can know without a doubt whether or not someone's guilty or innocent. But my question to you is, if you could get inside someone's mind, and it was like that really super suggestive guy that you were talking about earlier that just confessed all the horrific demonic possession stuff and eating babies. What if it's like getting to that guy's mind? What if you can't tell?
Well, the case that worries me, and this is perhaps an inept segue to politics, but we're in people's minds. I mean, you get someone talking long enough, you know their minds. I mean, they can only conceal what they're about only so well, right?
Maybe you can because you're a super smart wizard type dude. But Jamie, I don't know if he's a mind reader.
But the question is, will people care? You know, it's like if you have, we don't even need a lie detector. If you have someone who's openly lying, right? Who just gets caught in lies again and again.
You can see it too. You feel it, right?
But people don't seem to care, right? At least in a political process. Now, I'm thinking in this case of Trump, where you have someone who is in some cases lying or changing his mind in such an incoherent way that it's the functional equivalent of lying. It's someone who becomes totally unpredictable. Like he has a stance that is A on Tuesday and it's B on Wednesday, and when the discrepancy is pointed at,
Alright guys, I'm out of here. Wow, I did 3 hours. Basically 3 hours. Well, I talked for an hour and a half. And painted for about an hour and a half. I think it looks pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Alright. Peace until next time.